So, Almirola with no fresh tires, Ricky Stenhouse with 2. They are your front row for this restart as they approach the Geico restart zone for stage 3.
Back to the point, though, you're going to see really quickly if they have the grip to hold on, because this 22 is going to be pushing hard.
Keep in mind, we saw the 45 at Tyler Reddick not take tires and just do fuel, only got track position and was able to hold on to it.
Side to 22, you're still clear. Bottom lane's pushing now.
You see Eric did not pull down in front of that bottom line, elected to stay on the outside. I agree with that. Got some forward help. And one of those is Logano, that's been class of the field so far today.
Ricky Stenhouse was...
Fine riding second here. I don't think we need to lead right now.
Okay,
that's my answer.
Logano's radio.
That like 2 laps ago. We didn't talk about it. But still thinking through it.
Ricky Stenhouse went from 4th at the choose to the front row, choosing the inside.
Going back
to the leader.
Going back to that radio communication you heard in Logano's car. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine riding behind the 10 in second. The problem was the 10 wasn't fast enough. The inside line, pushed by William Byron into Stenhouse, got up in front of them. Now all of a sudden, crew chief, I'm running 4th. This is not where I wanted to be.
Well, I don't think it's terrible to be there 4th in that line, but you darn sure don't want to move further back than that.
I tell you, moving, Denny Hamlin is moving. Can't keep it down, getting into 3, sliding up the racetrack. Can't slide up too much. Going to get in the side of that very car we're talking about in a situation that he may or may not have wanted to be in, Joey Logano.
Ricky Stenhouse is only the 2nd Chevrolet to lead today. Kyle Busch led 7 laps earlier. Christopher Bell's Toyota led 6. Otherwise, it's been all Fords at the front.
Well, Denny Hamlin's trying to change that, and look, the 7. Here comes LaJoie, Corey LaJoie. Talked to him in the pre-race show. Almost won this race in July. Look over your shoulder, and there he is, marching to the front. Could be his day. Redemption time, Tony.
He was so excited about this race, so knowing what I'm sure he reran that last lap last year so many times in his head. He wants to be back in that position to remedy it.
Well, he had a strong car, and you see him driving right to the bumper at Denny Hamlin in front of him. I think that car is strong again.
Yes, sir.
Picking up right where they left off.
Ricky Stenhouse out front won the Daytona 500. William Byron has gone to victory lane the last 2 weeks in a row. And there they run 1-2 for the moment.
I think Ricky's holding that outside lineup. I hate to say that. Sorry, Ricky Stenhouse and all you fans, but why is this inside line led by a Toyota Denny Hamlin all of a sudden faster than him, and Ricky's really making some blocks inside and outside?
And here comes Byron, who won this race last year.
How do you beat them Fords all stacked up there? 8 out of the top 10 in qualifying. You get in front of them and get wide. That's exactly what you see Stenhouse doing. Outside block, inside block.
He is known as a very aggressive plate racer, and you're seeing it right here.
You know how cautions happen? Blocks. There's a close one.
Not like that.
That was way close.
2 by 2, 2 by 2.
Think of
Joy. Look at the pushing.
You think of the restart we had after the first stage. Tried to get single file, but then they doubled up real quick, and then it took about 6 or 8 laps before they started losing to that top line again.
3 wide, fellas.
3 wide, middle of the pack. And it's,
whoa!
Who's been 3 wide more than anybody else today? Kyle Larson in the 5.
He put Keselowski in that 3 wide scenario. Keselowski all but got into Eric Almirola in the left side, left rear. Right in front of the field. That is not what you want to see. They're getting antsy, Tony. Well, a lot of 3 wide here. Desperation.
Now LaJoie's going to need some help. First car on the inside, and it looks like he's going to get it. But they're 3 wide behind.
It's coming.
Why now? 84 laps to go. Why are we ran single file for laps and laps and laps. Why are we 3 wide now?
Buddy, I'm tired of running single file. I want to lead. I want to get up there. Saw that Logano leading all these laps. My turn. But
and guys,
patience is a virtue, and nobody taught that better in my career than this guy standing right next to me. Somehow. I can't believe you're a patient human.
But I think a lot of these guys, too, have had different moments of the race where they've been toward the back and realized how bad their cars drive back there. They want to get up there while they have fresh tires, get that track position, hopefully get himself in a position to maintain it.
Look what, I hear you, girl. I hear you. Look what happens when those guys get 3 wide, though. You saw that 3-4 rows of 3 wide back there. Look at that. Now look at the front of the pack. Single file, and they're driving away from them. That slows you down. Big time. A lot of difference there. That's exactly what those leaders wanted to see.
To the back behind you, the Bible wounded.
Well, last time this happened, it split the pack in 2 with a sizable gap between. So far, not yet. So to keep an eye on it all, we're going to take you, Fox, side by side with 81 laps to go in Atlanta. Well, they were orderly in single and double file, and now it's 3 wide again.
Finally got that Stenhouse. They were working on him, man. He was blocking for all his worth. Finally missed one of them. They got around him, and man, now we're in big trouble.
Hamlin, Byron, up at the point with Harvick on the inside.
Harvick's the one that made the move. He was tired of riding in that single file, made the move, kind of created that scenario.
Now, those 3 all restarted in the top 10. Look at the one. Ross Chastain has come from 25th on the restart into the front 5.
Oh!
Contact.
LaJoy and Gregson is where the contact was.
Chris Buescher, recovering nicely from that penalty, is up in the top 10 after restarting 28th.
Now you're starting to see what these drivers have. The aggression's picking up. They're getting way more aggressive behind the wheel.
I want this spot.
That was...
You want it worse than me.
Closest you get to a hook in the right rear and put you in the wall.
Mm-hmm.
However, Joey Logano's led 135 laps of this race. Now he's mired in 20th position and cannot advance. And Austin Cindric.
Gregson finally in the wall, trying to make, trying to make that 3 wide scenario work. Tried it with LaJoy getting into 1, got all the way back around there to 3 and 4, still trying, and finally got in the wall. Desperation. Probably not time for it, like you said, but nonetheless, trying to get to track position.
Well, the Penske cars dominated the first half of this race. Now Logano is 18th, Cindric is 30th, and Blaney with a penalty, 1 lap down, 32nd.
And I don't even think it's desperation as much as this is just how much these guys are planning. Of how you can't sit there and wait any longer to the end of the race to start working your way up there and trying to establish that track position. You got to go now.
I want to hear Tim Fedewa. Let's.
Whoa! He got turned by Chastain, and around they go.
Your brake.
Kyle Busch is around.
Josh Berry, Buescher into the wall. Josh Berry, a lot of damage on the front of the 9. That's all it took. We were just fixing to say, let's listen in to Tim Fedewa, talking into this blocking situation. The one got hard into his left rear and just turned him around. Harrison Burton, toe link broke in the right rear. Heavy, heavy damage for Buescher. I'd say his day's done. I don't know that Harvick's got a huge amount of damage to his car, believe it or not.
Well, it spun around 360 degrees and then got centered up with some side contact, but
well, there
we're
it
in
is.
big trouble here.
It shows me
got a lot of skew in it there.
Toe links broke on the right rear of that one.
Here's the 4.
You okay over there? Yeah, he just got me loose. Yeah, he knocked out of it right when he shouldn't have.
Yeah, the one car kind of tends to do that sometimes.
Pretty aggressive.
Let's have a look. On the inside, first 2 cars on the inside.
Well, look at the gap. First and foremost, closing in on him pretty hard. It wasn't on his left rear, though. Kind of moved across the rear bumper, I will say that.
He did a good. He closed in at such a high rate going into turn one. It wasn't like he just went in there and drove into the back of the 4-car. He got it woed down, but he was there and trying to give that push, and it just, like you said, he started on the right side, and then as it moved to the left side, that's when the car switched.
I think that's just aggression picking up. And as he did, I think his thought was right. Got on the right rear. I don't think it obviously wasn't intentional. And when he got to him with that head of steam, it got Kevin starting to get sideways. And by the time it was all said and done, now you're on his left rear, Tony, and where you really don't want to be. And look at the disaster.
All right, here's the Advent Health cam and radio in Ross Chastain's car.
There's the right rear.
Got any damage? No, sir. I didn't touch him. All right, be saving gas under caution.
Bubba Wallace.
Check apart, check apart.
Well, it was pretty obvious the aggression had picked up in a big way, and you knew something like this was imminent. And unfortunately, started right at the first of the pack, and when it does, it takes a bunch of them with him.
Here's the Monster Energy cam, Ty Gibbs.
Did a really good job right there. Didn't have a lot of options and got it woed down. Little slight contact with the 3, but did a really good job of getting through that.
And Tyler Reddick.
William Byron, a lot of damage.
And Chris Buescher awaiting the roll. Well, there's the wrecker. He's got one end. They may have to take that off hammock style. So as they clean up, we'll take a break with 69 laps to go in Atlanta.